think for me, music absolutely matters. It definitely does. And the great thing about music is you can appreciate it wherever your level is. So if you've just bought your first CD or you've turned on the radio, you can appreciate music. Or if you've gone and done a degree in music.
Well, I think I agree and disagree with you, because it's like the more you study music, the more interesting it becomes. So for example, I really like Bartok's music, not because it's listenable, because it plainly isn't. But when you're listening to it, you can hear him going, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. You don't know what I'm doing, but you're gonna watch it anyway. You pompous sons of bitches. You can hear him mocking the people at the time, and that's what's so great about it. And unless you sort of educated about it, you won't understand it. So music is, I think that's what's great about it. Is like music is the guitar of things. Let me explain. So guitar is great because anyone can pick up a guitar and like strum out a tune in a couple minutes, right? But you'll spend the rest of your life learning and getting better. So I've been playing for 30 years. I'm still a noob. I still know nothing, and there's still people who school me every day, and that's great. And I think that's what's great about music, is you can put on some bubblegum music, and you can relate to it. But then the more you get into it, the more interesting it is, you know. Like when you start getting into Indian music and Oriental music, all sorts of things, which is completely different. It's like an alien world, but through your ears. That's what's kind of cool about it.
Yeah. But that's exactly it. It's like, so if you've got like zero knowledge or zero understanding of like musical theory, you can still enjoy music. But the more
very low barrier to entry.
Yeah, exactly. But the more you know, the more you study, like the more you advance, the more you can enjoy it, because you start looking for the nuances. You start.
Well, I mean, one of this like I remember hearing Andreas. And this is going to be so embarrassing, but because of where I was at, it was so amazing. I heard Andreas Vollenweider's cover in a Jaqyc track 2. I remember hearing that song for the first time like it was yesterday. I could smell the room. I can see every single picture on the wall of this weird guy's house. I remember it like it was yesterday. What song do you remember like that?
It must have been In the End by Linkin Park. I remember going over to my mate's house. I must have been about 11 or 12, and like, you know, you've kind of always just grown up listening to whatever your folks listen to on the radio, or whatever CDs they decided to play, or albums they decided to play, the LPs. And I remember just going in, and he's like, Mitch, I've got to play you this song. And he put the song on, and I just remember, it's almost as if my world just stopped spinning for a moment. I'm just going, there's so much more, like, that's incredible. And
now think of anything else. That's why I like music, because it's unlike dance, and people have crucified me for this before. Dance is an art form that relies on so much else. Movies are an art form that rely on so much else. Art in today's world relies on so much else. Music is just really such a true standalone thing. Like, you can be in the dark in a cupboard with a good set of headphones, and you can be transported amazingly as well. Your song that you remember like that?
I grew up with musicals.
As you let's go to America. Let's go to America.
Not a musical.
Yes, moving on.
But I think for me, like, one of the most moving experiences I had was when I was in the UK. We were on holiday there, and we went to go and watch Les Mis in the Queen's Theatre there, and that was absolutely incredible. It's just like 2.5 hours of these amazing artists giving all they have in incredible song. Les Mis itself has basically seven songs that they weave together for 2.5 hours. Each song is attached to a specific emotion.
This explains why you like Bach, then, of course.
But each song is attached to an emotion, and they bring that emotion in when they're using that melody. And when they need that emotion, they'll bring that melody, and then they layer everything together. And at the end of the first act, you get all the songs all together. And at the end of the second act, they just bring this incredible music home. And that, for me, that's an experience that you don't get anywhere else.
Well, they stole that from African music, but I see what you're saying. I do know. Mike?
Yes.
Song that you remember like it was yesterday? Let me guess, Spirit Walker.
Actually, no, there wasn't my choice.
Really?
No. Probably Nazareth, This Fight Tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, Mike's from a different generation. Axl Rose started his career playing Elton John cover versions in bar. That's what he wanted to do, was be an Elton John cover artist. Right? So it's always struck me as interesting that the music that you make, you make it sort of despite yourself. Like, for me, and this is maybe too much information, but for me, all I wanted to do was be Slash. And that's just, I just wanted to front a rock band and just, you know, and then I heard Vollenwaarde and I was like, oh my God, Slash is so boring. I mean, it's great in its own way, but the possibilities of world music are just the thing that I was drawn to. It's not better or worse, it's just a preference, you know, that your soul kind of gets pulled into. And playing it on your own, because I've done a lot of my career as a soloist and then being in bands as well, when you're on your own it's kind of interesting the stuff that happens and you can get quite self-involved, and then getting in a group with like these guys, the music happens whether you want it to or not. So all of us come from very different backgrounds. Mitch, I think would rather be singing Onward Christian Soldiers than some of the stuff I'm making. I like world music and a lot, and nowadays for some reason, I don't know, I've got old and I like country. I don't know how that happened.
We're suffering for it.
This is our classical aficionado, and Mike listens to LM radio, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
The thing about playing music, and this is why I just love it so much, because it was never my choice to be a musician or play guitar or whatever. There's just this feeling that's it's kind of hard to describe when you're playing with a band, and especially I feel it with these guys hectically, is when everything just comes together.
Oh, dude! And then you're outside yourself.
And exactly.
And it doesn't feel like you're in the band. I'm with you, dude.
It's the most amazing feeling. You just can't explain it.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah,
when you have, you live for those moments. I felt that pure moment.
And that's why we still do it.
Probably about 8 times in my life. There's no sex, no drug, nothing can compare to being inside the band and outside the band at the same time, which happens when you have hit that groove and everyone's just, and the music's just, and no one who, if you haven't felt that, you'll never understand it.
It is like a drug.
When you hit that flow, oh my God. And I think that's why we do it. And then getting back to what I was saying about playing in the group, I think that's what's nice about it. We're lucky that we like each other. I think
not like.
Yeah. No, well, Mike, I'm fond of. I'm not quite ready to say love yet. So we're lucky that we get on, but musically, it's interesting to get to know each other's in a different way.
Yeah.
So Trevor's very easygoing and happy-go-lucky, as you can tell. Trevor is very like untelijk, and then very free at the same time. But then when it comes to his parts, he's very like, this is my part, and I must be a Nazi with myself, which is kind of weird. Mike, on the other hand, is very chilled with everyone else, and my part, I must be, oh, that's this! This will not master me! I don't know what I do. Apparently I fuck about too much. Because when we were recording the album, we were like, and I put the solos in, you were like, I didn't know you could play like that. I've been playing for 2 years.
Adrian has this amazing ability to write a song, then sing it differently 15 times, and then when you say, but you've done it differently now, he goes, no, but that's how I wrote it. And you're like, no.
No. Okay, so firstly, about the creative process, what they don't understand is that the first 150,000 songs you write are the hard ones, okay? After that, I don't know if you're like me, but pretty much by the time I finished writing the song, with some songs, not all songs of course, but by the time I finish writing the song, I know the song. So I don't have to refer to my notes again.
No, I get it. You can improv already.
We'll play the song.
Yeah.
We'll play it 10 times in practice, exactly the same way, and then we'll get on stage and he'll change it.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Oh yes, you do.
A little bit. Okay, a little bit.
He also does not let the right lyrics get in the way of him singing.
No, of course not. I'm an artist. Leave me alone.
So he doesn't follow him.
So, but that's what I like about this group is we kind of go along with that, you know. And then old Mr. Tappity over here. I mean, I don't know what world you come from, but you are the most ADHD percussionist in the world. You just get into this groove and you're like, fuck yeah, fuck squirrel, fuck yeah, different groove, and it's wonderful. And I don't know. I think that's what's nice about playing with
We
people.
also have, Mitch has the most amazing delayed reaction. So we'll be like, right, we're going to run. Everyone's like, yeah, it's a great song. And we're just like, what? And then we'll start playing songs like, this is amazing!
I love this song.
So
That's
yeah.
my favorite.
So my point, I think that's what's nice. Besides listening to music and talking about music with people, because I mean, I don't think any of us here are quite genre specific. You know, like if you're not a metalhead, you're a wanker. It's kind of lame. We all listen to lots of things, and you can connect by sharing that music, but you can connect even more by playing that music. I don't think you really know somebody until you've been in a band with them on a band bus. Because until you've played the 40th gig of the week for £14.50, and you're stuck in this bus, and you've got to find a reason to keep going. And why do we keep going? I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know why I'm nearly 40 years old and I still play this music. I wish I could tell you it brings me great joy. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's frustrating. Why do we do it? Because music matters, I suppose. What does it? I don't think it matters. I just think it's wonderful. And it's a great thing. It's a wonderful triviality.
And this is one of those points where you think he's going somewhere, and then he does.
I'm not. But do you? I mean, seriously, do you have an opinion on whether music matters? Does it matter?
Yes.
Take away music from the world, what happens?
I wouldn't enjoy that.
Would you not enjoy life without
No.
music?
No.
No, not at all.
The world needs music.
Why?
Because music makes me feel.
Do you not feel without music?
Not really, no.
I can empathize with that.
Empathize.
Empathize. I'm a writer. I can invent my own words.
Musically empathize.
Yes. So
Empathize.
without music, we feel nothing.
Without music, my feelings are connected to music.
Yes.
So without music, I wouldn't be able to feel as much as I can now.
That's so weird because, like, lately I've been quite moved because of course I'm a writer in terms of words and music. So lately I've been sort of very moved by words on their own. I think I go through phases, like Rudyard Kipling and in his wonderful poem which gave us the title of our new album, inadvertently, because I'd last read that poem 4,500 years ago, and then we named the album what it is, and then I went, hang on a shit, I think I've heard this before. And it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. And so words are being much more interesting, and I'm finding wordsmiths are just wonderful. But maybe next month I'll get back into music. I don't know.
Can anyone recite the poem?
It's about the sergeant's wife and the town prostitute.
You know.
Good.
Hardcore.
And the last thing is what did the colonel's lady think? Nobody never knew. Somebody asked the sergeant's wife, and she told them true. When you get to a man in the case, they're like a row of pins. For the colonel's lady and Judy O'Grady are sisters under the skins. Oh, isn't it amazing?
That is pretty cool.
So yeah, I think that maybe sums up why we play together, because we are sisters under our skin. We're all a little bit weird, except for him, who's a lot weird.
With a delayed reaction.